Romualdez Andrew Julian, and Isidre.
To the Committee on Overseas Workers' Affairs.
House Bill number 9112, an act institutionalizing the PhilHealth outpatient coverage on dialysis and renal replacement therapy and for other purposes by Representatives Romualdez Ferdinand Martin, Romualdez Yeda Marie, Romualdez Andrew Julian, and Isidre.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill number 9113, an act creating the Department of Technical Education and Skills Development, defining its powers and functions, repealing for the purpose RA 7796, otherwise known as the TESDA Act of 1994, and appropriating funds therefore. By Representatives Romualdez Ferdinand Martin, Romualdez Yeda Marie, Romualdez Andrew Julian, and Isidre.
To the Committee on Higher and Technical Education and the Committee on Government Reorganization.
House Bill number 9114, an act institutionalizing the creation of Economic and Investment Promotion Officer in LGUs, amending for the purpose RA 7160, otherwise known as the Local Government Code of 1991, by Representatives Romualdez Ferdinand Martin, Romualdez Yeda Marie, Romualdez Andrew Julian, and Isidre.
To the Committee on Local Government.
House Bill number 9115, an act mandating the insurance of all government properties and interest with the GSIS and for other purposes by Representatives Romualdez Ferdinand Martin, Romualdez Yeda Marie, Romualdez Andrew Julian, and Isidre.
To the Committee on Government Enterprises and Privatization.
House Bill number 9116, an act granting hazard pay to workers in critical industries during a state of calamity or emergency or public health emergency by Representatives Romualdez Ferdinand Martin, Romualdez Yeda Marie, Romualdez Andrew Julian, and Isidre.
To the Committee on Labor and Employment.
House Bill number 9117, an act increasing the allowances of barangay officials, granting honoraria and other benefits to the barangay workers who have served for at least 1 year, and providing funds therefore, amending for the purpose the Local Government Code of 1991, by Representatives Romualdez Ferdinand Martin, Romualdez Yeda Marie, Romualdez Andrew Julian, and Isidre.
To the Committee on Local Government.
House Bill number 9118, an act integrating all provincial and sub-provincial jails with the jurisdiction of the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, amending for the purpose RA 6975, otherwise known as the DILG Act of 1990 as amended, by Representatives Romualdez Ferdinand Martin, Romualdez Yeda Marie, Romualdez Andrew Julian, and Isidre.
To the Committee on Justice.
House Bill number 9119, mandating the deployment of licensed allied health professionals to geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas and underserved regions, and providing incentives therefore, by Representatives Romualdez Ferdinand Martin, Romualdez Yeda Marie, Romualdez Andrew Julian, and Isidre.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill number 9120, an act declaring the Philippine-Maharlika Highway as a national food highway, providing an integrated system for the processing, storage, transport, distribution, and monitoring of food products and appropriating funds therefore, by Representatives Romualdez Ferdinand Martin, Romualdez Yeda Marie, Romualdez Andrew Julian, and Isidre.
To the Committee on Agriculture and Food.
House Bill number 9121, an act mandating the establishment of Persons with Disability Affairs offices in all LGUs, further amending for the purpose Section 40 of RA 7277 as amended by RA 10070, otherwise known as an act establishing institutional mechanism to ensure the implementation of programs and services for persons with disabilities in every province. By Representatives Romualdez Ferdinand Martin, Romualdez Yeda Marie, Romualdez Andrew Julian, and Isidre.
To the Special Committee on Persons with Disabilities.
House Bill number 9122, an act institutionalizing the participation of civil society organizations in the preparation and authorization process of the annual national budget, providing effectively mechanisms therefore and for other purposes. By Representatives Romualdez Ferdinand Martin, Romualdez Yeda Marie, Romualdez Andrew Julian, and Isidre.
To the Committee on People's Participation.
House Bill number 9123, an act providing for the legal framework and mechanisms for the creation, operation, administration, and coordination of special agricultural growth zones in the Philippines, creating for this purpose the Philippine Agricultural Growth Zone Authority and for other purposes, by Representatives Romualdez Ferdinand Martin, Romualdez Yeda Marie, Romualdez Andrew Julian, and Isidre.
To the Committee on Government Enterprises and Privatization and the Committee on Agriculture and Food.
House Bill number 9124, an act creating in the DepEd the plantilla positions of guidance counselors in every elementary school and additional plantilla positions of guidance counselors for high school, increasing the salaries of guidance counselors and guidance-related positions and appropriating funds therefore, by Representatives Romualdez Ferdinand Martin, Romualdez Yeda Marie, Romualdez Andrew Julian, and Isidre.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
House Bill number 9125, an act upgrading all provincial and district hospitals by providing modern medical equipment, ambulance services, and establishing specialty units, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes. By Representatives Romualdez Ferdinand Martin, Romualdez Yeda Marie, Romualdez Andrew Julian, and Asidre.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill number 9126, an act strengthening the animal welfare protection by increasing the penalties prescribed therein and by banning those convicted of animal cruelty from owning any kind of animals, amending for the purposes specific sections of Republic Act number 8485, amended by RA 10631, otherwise known as the Animal Welfare Act of 1998, by Representative Almario Chino Miguel.
To the Committee on Agriculture and Food.
House Bill number 9127, an act creating a new municipal trial court for the municipality of Jimenez, situated in the province of Misamis Occidental, in the 10th Judicial Region, amending for the purpose Batas Pambansang Bilang 129, otherwise known as the Judiciary Reorganization Act of 1980 as amended, and appropriating funds therefore, by Representatives Waminal Henry Almonte and Waminal Sancho Fernando.
To the Committee on Justice.
House Bill number 9128, an act amending RA 7305, otherwise known as the Magna Carta of Public Health Workers, and for other purposes, by Representatives Tino, Elago, and Co.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill number 9129, an act providing for the Magna Carta of Private Health Workers, by Representatives Tino, Elago, and Co.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill number 9130, an act establishing the National Financial Inclusion and MSME Credit Access Program and for other purposes, by Representative Ang.
To the Committee on Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprise Development.
House Bill number 9131, an act establishing a national framework for the rights, care, and integration of persons with autism, creating the Interagency Council on Autism, instituting a national autism care plan, and providing funds therefore, by Representative Daza.
To the Committee on Health and the Special Committee on Persons with Disabilities.
House Bill number 9132, an act creating the National Coordinating Council for Education, defining its mandate, powers, and functions, and appropriating funds therefore, by Representative Recto.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture and the Committee on Higher and Technical Education.
House Bill number 9133, an act establishing the Bureau of Halal Industry, mandating the inclusivity of halal certifications in food, consumer products, healthcare, and services, and appropriating funds therefore, by Representatives Duterte Omar Vincent and Duterte Paulo.
To the Committee on Trade and Industry.
House Bill number 9134, an act excluding system losses from VAT in the sale of electricity to residential household consumers, by Representatives Sendanya, Docno, Ismula, and Bagao.
To the Committee on Ways and Means.
House Bill number 9135, an act strengthening and expanding the Philippine Sports Hall of Fame, amending for the purpose RA 8757, entitled an act establishing the Philippine Sports Hall of Fame and appropriating funds therefore, by Representative D. Faustino Michael Carlos.
To the Committee on Youth and Sports Development.
House Bill number 9136, an act exempting drugs and medicines prescribed for mental health condition from VAT, by Representative Ako.
To the Committee on Ways and Means.
House Bill number 9137, an act promoting mental health and well-being in the workplace and instituting measures to prevent burnout and for other purposes, by Representative Ako.
To the Committee on Labor and Employment.
House Bill number 9138, an act establishing the National Youth Mental Health and Digital Wellbeing Program, providing mental health professionals in schools, regulating harmful digital practices, and strengthening early intervention for Filipino students, by Representative Ako.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture and the Committee on Higher and Technical Education.
House Bill number 9139, an act institutionalizing political party development and governance, ensuring internal democracy and accountability, prohibiting political turncoatism, and for other purposes, by Representatives Asidre, Teves, Mendoza, Abalos, Aquino Magsaysay, Arbison, Munir Jr., Bernos Ching, Briones, Espares, Legazpi, Poe, Lopez, Ordanes, Tan Aman, Soriano, Yatco, Waminal Henry, Makasait, and Educado.
To the Committee on Suffrage and Electoral Reforms.
House Bill number 9140, an act institutionalizing budget reform that will ensure the equitable distribution of funds for all municipal and barangay LGUs for the purpose of implementation of Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000, appropriating funds therefore, by Representative Teves.
To the Committee on Ecology.
House Bill number 9141, an act creating a system for timely and scientific-based cancellation of classes in public and private schools, by Representative Teves.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill number 9142, an act requiring all candidates for elective public office to execute a sworn undertaking of non-engagement in government contracts within 5 years prior to the filing of certificate of candidacy, amending for the purpose relevant provisions of Batas Pambansa Bilang 881 or the Omnibus Election Code, and supplementing RA 9184, Government Procurement Reform Act, and RA 3019, Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, and for other purposes, by Representative Teves.
To the Committee on Suffrage and Electoral Reforms.
House Bill number 9143, an act establishing in the municipality of Cataran, province of Cagayan, a basic comprehensive multi-specialty center under the Cagayan Valley Medical Center to be known as the Dr. Tomas Nolasco Senior Multi-Specialty Center, and appropriating funds therefore, by Representative Nolasco.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill number 9144, an act reducing the VAT from 12% to 10%, amending for the purpose the National Internal Revenue Code of 1997 as amended, by Representative Montes.
To the Committee on Ways and Means.
House Bill number 9145, an act mandating the alignment of the National Youth Development Plan with the Sustainable Development Goals, requiring the NYC to publish youth development indicators and institutionalizing SDGs localization for youth, and appropriating funds therefore, by Representative Montes.
To the Committee on Youth and Sports Development.
House Bill 9146, an act mandating the NYC to formulate, implement, and monitor a national youth mental health strategy and appropriating funds therefore, by Representative Montes.
To the Committee on Youth and Sports Development.
House Bill 9147, declaring November 4 of every year a special non-working holiday in the province of Quezon in commemoration of the death anniversary of revolutionary hero